Thank you for visiting my channel. Before we start, please hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons to receive notification of future presentations. Our topic for discussion is Aksyon Pauliana. Aksyon Pauliana is a remedy available to creditors when a debtor in fraud of creditors alienates or transfers property to another person, making it impossible for the creditor to collect what is due. It is an action for rescission by which creditors may have contracts entered into by the debtor annulled if these contracts are made to defraud them. Legal basis, Civil Code of the Philippines, Article 1381, Paragraph 3. It says contracts that can be rescinded include those undertaken in fraud of creditors when the latter cannot collect their claims in any other manner. Article 1387 partly states, alienations by onerous title are also presumed fraudulent when made by persons against whom some judgment has been rendered in any instance or some writ of attachment has been issued. The decision or attachment need not refer to the property alienated and need not have been obtained by the party seeking the rescission. Requisites of Aksyon Pauliana. This is taken from the case of Ke Hong Cheng versus CA, GR number 144169, March 28, 2001. The first requisite is the credit must pre-exist, meaning the creditor's right or claim existed before the fraudulent transfer. 2. Debtor has alienated property after incurring death. 3. Creditor has exhausted legal remedies to collect like action subrogatoria first if possible. 4. Fraudulent act by debtor, intent to defraud creditors or alienation presumed fraudulent under the law. And 5. Third person who received the property participated in fraud or at least had knowledge of it. Aksyon Pauliana is a subsidiary remedy. Creditors can only resort to it after exhausting other legal remedies to collect from the debtor. It is a rescissory action. It does not create a new right but revokes fraudulent transfers to restore the property to the debtor's patrimony for satisfaction of creditors. If successful, the contract of alienation is rescinded. The property or its value goes back to the debtor's patrimony, subject to creditor's claims. The recurring themes of Aksyon Pauliana are: 1. Aksyon Pauliana is subsidiary or a remedy of last resort. It is available only after other remedies are exhausted, like attachment, execution, and subrogation. 2. The creditor must have a credit existing before the alienation, antecedent or concurrent. 3. There must be a subsequent conveyance or act by the debtor that grants a patrimonial benefit to a third person. 4. The act must be fraudulent or to the prejudice of the creditor or presumed fraudulent in certain cases, like in donation without retaining property to pay debts. 5. If the third person took under onerous title, he must have been an accomplice to the fraud. And 6. Prescription. Article 1389 of the Civil Code provides that the action must be brought within 4 years. The cause of action accrues when the creditor discovers the fraud or when he becomes legally capable of demanding rescission. Examples and illustrations, some of which are taken from actual cases. Example number 1. Facts. A creditor obtained a judgment against the debtor. When execution was attempted, the sheriff found no more property under the debtor's name. Later, it turned out that the debtor had already donated real property to his children. Creditor's remedy. Since ordinary execution could not satisfy the judgment, the creditor filed Aksyon Pauliana to rescind the donation on the ground that it was made to defraud creditors. Ruling, the court allowed rescission. The donation was considered fraudulent since the debtor did not reserve enough property to pay debts. Example number 2. Facts. A debtor had outstanding obligations to Metrobank. To avoid collection, he mortgaged his property to another creditor. Metrobank tried to intervene and cancel the mortgage through Aksyon Pauliana. Problem: Metrobank had not yet exhausted other remedies like levy, execution, etc. against the debtor. Ruling: The Supreme Court said Action Pauliana could not prosper because it is a last resort. Until all normal collection avenues fail, creditors cannot rescind debtors' transactions. Lesson: You cannot jump directly to Action Pauliana. You must first try to collect through judgment and execution. Scenario number 1. Anna owes 1 million to Ben, creditor. Before Ben files a case, Anna donates her only property, a house worth 2 million, to her son. Ben sues and wins. When sheriff enforces the judgment, Anna has no more property left. Action: Ben may file Action Pauliana to rescind the donation since under Article 1387, a donation by a debtor who does not reserve sufficient property to pay debts is presumed fraudulent. Scenario number 2. Carlos owes 5 million to a bank. After defaulting, Carlos sells his land to his best friend for only 500,000, which is way below market value. The bank obtains judgment, but execution returns no property found. Action: The bank may file Action Pauliana to rescind the sale because 1. The credit of 5 million pre-existed the sale. 2. The sale was clearly fraudulent, grossly undervalued, and the buyer is complicit. And number 3, no other property is left to satisfy the credit. Scenario number 3. David owes 2 million to Emma. After Emma sues, but before judgment is rendered, David mortgages his only parcel of land to a cousin. Emma wins, but sheriff finds land already mortgaged. Action: Emma can file Action Pauliana to annul the mortgage, arguing it was a fraudulent conveyance designed to defeat her claim. Common threads in all examples and illustrative cases. 1. The creditor already has a credit arising before the fraudulent act. 2. The debtor transfers property by way of donation, sale, mortgage, etc. to avoid liability. 3. The creditor has exhausted remedies like judgment, execution, subrogation, but no or insufficient property is found. And 4. The action is brought to rescind the fraudulent transfer so that the property can answer for the debts. Flowchart of how Action Pauliana works. 1. Creditor has an existing credit by way of loan, obligation, or judgment. 2. Debtor alienates property by way of sale, donation, mortgage, etc. to avoid liability. 3. Creditor sues and wins, obtains judgment. 4. Execution attempted, but sheriff returns no property found. 5. All remedies exhausted, execution, attachment, subrogation. 6. Creditor files Action Pauliana. 7. Court rescinds the fraudulent transfer, property goes back to debtor's patrimony. And 8. Property becomes available to satisfy creditor's claim. Here is a step-by-step diagram showing how Action Pauliana works. The second legal basis is jurisprudence. First in the list is the case of Ki Hong Ching versus CA, GR number 144169, March 28, 2001. In this case, the Supreme Court discussed that Action Pauliana presupposes a judgment, issuance of a writ of execution, failure to satisfy the judgment, and exhaustion of debtors' properties. It emphasized that the remedy is subsidiary. Creditor must exhaust other remedies before invoking Action Pauliana. The court also treated prescription under Article 1389, which refers to the 4-year period, and when the cause of action accrues. Other relevant jurisprudence are enumerated hereunder. Thank you. If you find this presentation helpful, please subscribe to receive notification of future lectures.